great group of people, and I understand they'll be endorsing me. And I like great endorsements. We have some really great endorsements. We've had some great newspaper endorsements over the last 3 days. So maybe I could just introduce Nevada Trucking Association, the Retail Association of Nevada, that's a big deal. Associated Builders and Contractors, big stuff. And the Startup Nevada, that's a very good one. Lisa, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So maybe you could say a few words and we'll talk, and appreciate it very much.
Hey, thank you, Mr. President. I'm Paul Enos. I'm the CEO of the Nevada Trucking Association. Very blessed to represent an industry that touches every single sector of our economy. And that was something that really became apparent during this pandemic. This administration took unprecedented steps to ensure that not only did our truck drivers have proper PPE so they could be safe, but that we could deliver all of the things, groceries, toilet paper, meat to our grocery store shelves, deliver medical testing equipment to our first responders. Tax reform that this president has implemented has been phenomenal for our industry. It has allowed us to invest in safer, cleaner trucks that are out there on the road. It has enabled us to increase the wages of our truck drivers. And for our drivers, new hours of service rules that have been passed by this administration have enhanced safety, have made those rules a lot more flexible for our truck drivers, and allowed them to get home at night. This administration has protected our smallest trucking companies, those independent owner-operators, giving them the ability to contract, to be able to go out there and start their own business, work for themselves, achieve the American dream. And on a very human level, Mr. President, this industry has trained almost 1 million truck drivers across the country to recognize and report signs of human trafficking. Great. And we commend your administration's efforts and successes in combating this evil. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
I love what you just said, human trafficking. That's great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Please.
Mr. President, Mary Lau. I'm the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Retail Association of Nevada. We represent large retail operations, pharmacies, grocery stores, and very small retail operations also. Our major retailers in the form of grocers, pharmacies, home improvement facilities, we're honored to serve as essential workers in the United States. And we appreciated Paul bringing toilet paper. How about anybody else? We needed that product. But our small businesses, we represent several thousand, and we are so grateful for the PPP loans. And we humbly request that we get consideration for forgiveness of that loan at $150,000 or less, and in liability reform.
And we're looking at that, both of those.
Yes,
so we
sir,
are looking
and
at
we
it
humbly
very seriously.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
It is amazing. We appreciate the fact that you have built an amazing economy, and we firmly believe that this president is the key for making the economy great again. And as another side, Mr. President, I'm a small business owner in a woman-owned firm.
Good.
And we very much appreciate your views on safety, your views on operation, and your support of our law enforcement.
Yep.
We are proud to serve and honored to support.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's really nice. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
My name is Mac Bivey. I'm the President and CEO of the Associated Builders and Contractors of Nevada. We want to thank this president for spearheading his initiatives on workforce development, creating an economic environment where construction was booming. Pathway to success from top to bottom was happening here in Nevada and throughout the country. I want to thank you for your opportunity for second chance programs, helping those that have served in prison but now are looking to correct their lives and have a second shot at opportunity in this country. You know, I don't have as much to say as the other ones, but we know that your economic environment, your tax package, all those things were incredible for the business community and for construction, and that goes, again, from the very top all the way down to the very bottom of everybody in the industry. And we want to thank you for that.
Really nice. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Song Sutton. I'm a board member with Startup Nevada. I'm a local entrepreneur and a former Miss Nevada. Startup Envy's role is a statewide incubator here in Nevada. We support small business owners and the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and we can't do that without support. For me personally, as an attorney turned entrepreneur, I have 4 companies that I started here in the Silver State across varying sectors: real estate, food and beverage, retail, and shipping e-commerce. All of those industries were affected. Not a single sector was spared here in Nevada. And thanks to you and your administration for the swift action that you took to make sure that small business owners like myself and the entrepreneurs that we help had the resources available to them to make sure that we could keep the lights on, to pay our staff, and to just stay afloat during a really uncertain time. Rebuilding the economy is what's important, and in order to do that, we have to support American businesses and American entrepreneurship. So now is the time for private sector to come off the sidelines, to stand up for our communities, to stand up for our small businesses, and recognize that results matter. We see that every day within our small businesses, that being action-driven, results-oriented, detail-oriented, and having hustle and heart are what will carry us through to not only survive, but also thrive. You, Mr. President, have all those qualities as well. It's something that we recognize, and we're very grateful for all the work that you do and your support of American entrepreneurs.
Thank you,
Thank
Lisa,
you.
very much. So nice. I appreciate it. Anybody else? Anybody? You're together? A couple of doubles? That's good. Well, you've been well represented if that's the case. So I want to thank everybody. We're heading to Arizona. We have a couple of very big ones in a little while, very big ones. They've all been big. I think you've seen it. You've been witness to it. I don't think anybody's ever seen anything like this in the history of our country politically. There's tremendous support. Poll numbers are very good. You don't see the real poll numbers. We have poll numbers in Wisconsin where we're up 1, and yet I see ABC comes out, ABC Washington Post. Of course, they had us 12 down last time. Of course, right before the end, I think they were even, but they had us 12 down about 2 weeks before, and we ended up winning. So, one of those things. But they came out with one down 17, and we have one where we're +1, and most of them have us pretty even in Wisconsin. So they're just suppression polls. It's a shame they can get away with it. It's almost, if you think about it, it's almost like a campaign contribution to the DNC. The good news is our people understand it. They understand it very well. They went through it 4 years ago. And it was actually worse 4 years ago, if you think about it. But they went through it. We're really up in almost all of the states that we're talking about, most of the states. We're up even or very close, doing fantastically in Florida, doing fantastically in North Carolina. We have a Michigan poll that just came out. We're 2 up in Michigan. We have a very good Wisconsin poll that just came out. We're 1 up. Rasmussen has us at 53. 52 yesterday, 53. And head-to-head nationally, we're up in a Rasmussen poll, and Rasmussen was one of the most accurate 4 years ago. So we tend to look at the ones that were accurate 4 years ago. Pennsylvania, we think we're going to do fantastically there. There's tremendous energy, and we've never seen enthusiasm like this. And I think the honest reporters will say, in the history of doing what you're doing, I don't think anybody's ever seen enthusiasm like this. Our voters are going to vote early, but they're really going to vote on Tuesday. They want to wait till Tuesday. That's what the tradition has been. At least the tradition with me happened last time, too. And I'm calling it a great red wave, and I think you're going to see something that's going to be amazing. Some will vote a little bit earlier, but they do want to vote. They want to go to the polling booth and vote for the most part. The early ballots were doing much better than anticipated. We assumed a certain number. I think they are underperforming, and I think on Tuesday we're going to overperform, and we'll see what happens at the end of the day. Hopefully it won't go longer than that. Hopefully the few states remaining that want to take a lot of time after November 3rd to count ballots, that won't be allowed by the various courts, because as you know, we're in courts on that. We just had a big victory yesterday in Wisconsin on that matter. So hopefully that won't be happening. Okay? We're heading out now to a great state, Arizona.
Mr. President, could you comment on the latest police shooting in Philadelphia and the demonstrations after that?
It's a terrible thing. What I'm witnessing is terrible, and frankly, that the mayor or whoever it is that's allowing people to riot and loot and not stop them is also just a horrible thing. I saw the event. Everybody did. It was on television. It was a terrible event. I guess that's being looked at very strongly. We have the federal government is looking at it also. But the rioting in Philadelphia, you have to stop it. They have to stop it. It's a local thing, as you know. We don't send unless we're asked. If they ask for help, we'll be there very quickly. But they should bring in their National Guard if the police need help, and they should do something. You can't let that go on. Again, a Democrat-run state, a Democrat-run city, Philadelphia. We don't have that. We don't have it. The Republicans don't have it. And you'll have more and more of that, and you're going to have it, and you're going to have it strongly. You can't let that happen.
You mean the federal government is looking at the shooting, sir? Is that what you're
We're looking at the shooting, yes. We're looking at the shooting. And if asked to go in and help, we will do that. We have to be asked, as you know, by the governor. They should be able to handle it themselves. The police, I know the police very well in Philadelphia. I think they gave me an endorsement, and they're not allowed. They were told, I understand, to stand back. To stand back, don't do anything. And people are breaking into stores and walking out with washing machines and walking out with all sorts of things, and it shouldn't be allowed. That's no way to do it. You got to have law and order. You've got to have respect for our police. The police were told to stand back. Now, maybe that's not so, but that's what I was told upon very good authority. You can't allow that to happen. We're watching it very closely, and we're waiting for a call. If they want help, we're there. We'll be in there within 1 hour. We're ready to go within 1 hour. Yeah, please.
Can I just follow on that? Former Vice President has condemned the rioting, but he's also saying if he's elected president, that he will push for a commission to look into how do you go about diminishing these types of situations with mental health situations, crises. Do you have any response to that?
Sure. The former vice president has been doing this for 47 years. He's been doing it badly. This is a group that he supports. He doesn't want to condemn them. I saw that. He doesn't want to condemn them. You have to condemn. You have to be strong. You can't have chaos like that. And he'll be very, very weak. He hasn't gotten, to the best of my knowledge, any endorsements, or certainly if he has, it's very few. I've gotten almost every law enforcement endorsement in the nation. Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Ohio, almost everyone in the nation. I think we might have even gotten Pennsylvania, which is great, but they have to be able to do something about it. The problem with Joe's all talk and no action. You got to have some action. You can't let that happen. I went to school in that city. I love the city of Philadelphia. You can't let that happen to a wonderful place like Philadelphia. You can't let it happen. Well, I'm going to see you in Arizona. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Condemn the situation.